All right. Hi, everyone. Sorry, we're having issues with YouTube. Um, Welcome. Bentley's with us today. Thank you. Love you. So, how are you all doing? Well, so what are we drinking today? I'm still drinking did a London Fog with the British Brunch from Stephen Smith. Still doing that. But I also doing the Yoda mug. My husband and I are huge Star Wars fans. Yesterday was May the 4th, or Star Wars Day, May the 4th be with you, which has now returned or expanded to May the 5th for Revenge of the Fifth. Revenge of the Sith is one of the movies. And then also, since The Mandalorian, it has extended to the whole month of May, and this is the May where the Mandalorian, this is the way, so this is the May. So yeah, I figured I would do my husband's Yoda Star Wars mug. I got it for him, and I ended up taking it over. So yes, anyways. So what are you drinking today? Leave in the comments definitely what you're drinking today, if you can. Even if you're watching this 3 months from now, what are you drinking? So today I want to talk about setting boundaries. I know that we have talked about it in the past. I just want to take a deeper dive into this and why it's important. So setting boundaries, you as someone going through this, is very important. You are the main person. Like, it's all about you. You can be a diva. No, I'm kidding. Don't be a diva about it. But yes, it's you. It's all about you, what's best for you. And I know for some people and a lot of people, it's hard to set boundaries. It was challenging for my mom to set boundaries. And even now in life, I'm working on setting boundaries with things. And so, especially if you're someone who likes to help people or likes to do a lot of things and not be the downer or the person who says no all the time, like it's very challenging, I know. So, but with you going through this, it's important that if you're tired, you get rest, you sleep. So what if it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon? Definitely, get your sleep, take a nap. If you had something planned, so what? Cancel it. If somebody wanted to do something, just either, see if you can do it a little bit later and take a nap and see how you feel, and tell them, I need to take a nap, see how I feel. And then, we can do it. If we can do it a little bit later, that would be great. And then if you don't feel up to it, just ask, hey, can we do it another day? That person needs to be understanding and know that it's important for you to get rest. Just know that your body lets you know what it needs. So listening to your body is very important. So if you're tired, your body's letting you know, hey, I need to rest so I can rejuvenate. I can start healing something that's going on. And so listen to your body, rest. If you have a hard time saying no to people, then you need to, definitely speak to whoever your caretaker is, your spouse, or whoever, to be that guardian at the gate for you. Tell them that, so-and-so, can they reach out to, you were supposed to go somewhere with so-and-so. Can they reach out and say, hey, like, this person's not feeling, they're not feeling up to it. Can you do it later or another day? And that's okay too. If that helps you, if that makes it easier for you, then do that. So, and I say that in a sense to make sure that your guardian at the gate is willing to do that. If you're resting and someone calls, don't answer the phone if you don't feel like talking. Or if, somebody else is at the house and they answer the phone and you don't feel like talking, tell them that you're in the bathroom or you're asleep or something. Like, if you just don't feel like talking to anybody, don't do it. It's okay. That person will live, I promise you. Now, we all know we have that one family member or that one friend that thinks they know everything and that rules don't apply to them, and that you can, so, if you don't feel like seeing someone, but that's okay, you can see them, like, you're gonna have to keep them at bay, or have your guardian at the gate do that for you. Um, so, in a sense, so even if you have to come up with I'm not at home, or they're asleep, or they're in the bathroom, or something, or they have an appointment they have to go to, or whatever, like, even if you have to come up with something like that to not have visitors, then do that. Or, politely say, hey, like, maybe, tomorrow, why don't you plan on coming by tomorrow, or something, and then seeing how you feel, or say, hey, let's see how I feel tomorrow. We'll look at doing that tomorrow. So yeah, definitely do that. Don't hesitate to say no, and learn to say no. I don't feel like it. Um, that is definitely okay. So yeah, so tell them they gotta learn to say no, right? You say no, yeah, and do what's best for them, so they can get better. And listen to their body and tell them to get better. Yeah. So yes, see, even Bentley agrees with me. All right. So a couple of things you can also look into. Like I said, I know setting boundaries, it can be challenging for some people, and saying no can be challenging for some people. One of the books that was recommended is Setting Boundaries Will Set You Free. It's the ultimate guide to telling the truth, creating connection, and finding freedom, by Nancy Levine. And the other ones is Boundaries: When to Say Yes, How to Say No to Take Control of Your Life, by Henry Cloud and John Townsend. Both of those books, they're supposed to be really good. The first one was actually recommended by, I was telling you about Dr. Kelly Turner with Radical Remission and her podcast, Radical Remission. The first one was recommended by them on their podcast. On the podcast, I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but it's definitely one I will be looking into. Just out of curiosity, one, like I said, I'm working on setting boundaries for myself, but two, out of curiosity. And also Boundaries is one that I'm sure that once you've seen the cover, you've probably seen it like in a bookstore and everything. It was very popular. It's the one with the pencil on it. It's like red with a pencil book. So that has been very popular, and a lot of people have gotten that book. And I think there's like a series too as well with it, like a different series, so different things outside of setting boundaries as well that they have done. Here, come here, little one. Oh goodness, there we go. Bentley is definitely making his debut today, isn't he? That's okay. We like it. We like it. So yes. It's also good too for caretakers to set boundaries. I know we talked about that before, but and making sure your caretaker knows your boundaries and what you want, and to set boundaries for your caretakers as well. So if they want, if as far as like what you want them to do to help you. So like I said, with my mom, like cleaning, like she wanted the house clean, but she was also one of these really independent. She was very independent. People who she liked to do things herself, and then she didn't want to be told no. My grandmother was the same way, and she ended up, we'd let her clean the house or clean up what she wanted to, and then when she got tired, she went and rested, and we asked her what else did she want done, and my dad and I just finished it for her. this funny story. I was talking about how independent my mom and my grandmother is. This funny story I have with my grandmother. I remember she you know how old people are. When the telephone rings, they got to answer that phone. My grandmother had she had to have I think like she had to have heart surgery, but she ended up having to have a stent. She they live in a small town at the foothill of the mountains, and so they had to put a stent in one of her main arteries in her leg to, you know, to kind of stabilize her before she went up to go have her surgery, and into a little bit bigger city than where they lived at the time. And so they told her, like, just rest, no getting up, walking around, no, you know, fast moving or anything like that, just rest. Because, you know, if something happens with the stent, like it's in her main artery, like she could like bleed out very quickly and easily, like even before the paramedics got there. So, anyways, my grandmother gets home and she has a cordless phone, landline, and she, for those of you young people who don't know what landlines are, those are the phones that are attached to the the house, and you have to be there to answer it. And we had a cordless phone, which was very similar to a cell phone, but you only had range, or like a certain range that it would work, or you would lose the person. So, anyways, sorry, I had to make the joke. So she, I guess before my uncles left or whatever, they had, you know, she had forgotten to get the telephone or grab the telephone to put by her, and she was sitting on the couch, and the phone rang. What does she do? She gets up and goes and runs over and grabs that phone because she had to answer the phone. Granted, she was okay after that, but she was just that independent. Like, she didn't want anybody there with her. She was fine. She could do it herself. She can, you know, my mom was the same way. But yes, but my grandmother did very well. She did well with the surgery and everything. She was fine after that. But yeah, that just reminded me of her and how independent both her and my mom are. But I can't say anything. I get it from them too. As well, don't like to ask anybody for help. Don't, I can do it myself. I can figure out how to do it myself. So I get it. So yes, but you know, you need to set boundaries. All right. So if there's any other resources you have that you know of that's really good about helping people set boundaries or talk about setting boundaries and the best way to do it, definitely put it in into the chat. Again, like I said, even if you're watching this 3 or 4 months from now, even next year, if you're watching a year from now for the first time, like, and you know something, put it in the chat. We'll definitely get back around to it, because again, like I said, I want to create a whole community where we can help each other out. And if you found something that works for you, or even a best practice that works for you, definitely put it in and we'll share it. All right, well, with that, have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself. All right, be safe, and we'll see you next week under the willow tree.